The room beyond. With no light to guide him, Matthew's hands searched the wall for the door frame. The little door was ice cold to the touch, but the knob turned easily without resistance. Beyond it, dim pink light and the sound of music. A music box. He stepped inside. The room was small, too small for anything but the miniature rocking chair and a child's bed tucked against the far wall. Dust lay like snowfall on every surface, disturbed only by small footprints that led in and out, over and over again. The music box sat on a table in the center. It played a lullaby he didn't know, yet made his stomach clench, because it made him feel 7 years old again. The doll was there too, sitting in the chair now, upright, facing him, its wooden head tilted just slightly, as if curious. "Did you forget again?" the voice asked. It didn't come from the doll. It came from under the bed. Matthew didn't want to look. His muscles locked, but his eyes moved on their own. He crouched, heart in his throat, and slowly lifted the blanket's edge. A girl's face stared back, pale, hollow-eyed, smiling. She didn't crawl out. She rose, floating, arms limp at her sides, hair drifting like it was underwater. "I waited," she said. "You promised." Matthew backed into the wall. "Who are you?" She looked hurt, then angry. The room went black. The music box shattered, and her voice whispered in both his ears, "Don't lie again." The hollow truth. Matthew awoke on his back, coughing dust. The room was gone. He was in a hallway now, long, narrow, its ceiling so low it pressed a claustrophobic weight down on his chest. The wallpaper here was different, not peeling but new, fresh, bright pink with small red flowers. He stood shakily. Behind him, only wall. Ahead, a single light bulb swinging from the ceiling, illuminating a trail of red handprints leading to a door painted white. This door, too, bore a name carved into its surface. Elin. Not Elle, not entirely. And somehow, deep inside, he knew that name. The memory floated on the edge of recognition, just out of reach, like trying to recall a dream hours after waking. He touched the door. It pulsed beneath his palm, like something on the other side was breathing with him. He pushed it open. The room inside was pristine, a child's bedroom, untouched by dust or time. Toys arranged carefully on shelves, books lined up alphabetically, bed neatly made. A stuffed bear sat in the corner with a red ribbon around its neck, and on the desk, a photo. Him again, younger, with the same girl from the previous photo, the one under the bed. But this time they were holding hands, laughing, in front of this very house. The back of the frame read, "Summer 2012, Elin and Matt. Final visit." He staggered. Final visit! Then another memory cut through him, violent and jagged. Rain on the windshield, a voice calling from the back seat, a hand reaching toward him, and the sound of metal twisting. He gripped the edge of the desk to steady himself. The room had grown colder. The mirror above the dresser was fogging up. Then slowly something began to write itself into the condensation. One word. Why? The toys shifted. The bear's head turned. Then behind him the closet door creaked open by itself. Inside, darkness, and a familiar voice whispering, "We were supposed to stay together." Remembrance. Matthew turned to face the closet. The darkness inside was deeper than it should be. Too black, too dense. It didn't look like a small space anymore, but a tunnel. A passage carved through something older than wood and insulation. The stuffed bear slid off the shelf and landed upright, staring. He heard the voice again. "Don't leave me in the dark again, Matt." It wasn't a threat. It was grief. Something stepped out of the closet, dragging one foot behind the other. It looked like the girl, but not quite. Taller now, gaunt, as though she'd kept aging in the dark, stretched by time and sorrow. Her eyes were glassy like she hadn't blinked in years. Matthew backed into the desk. "Elin?" She paused. "Do you remember? I think we were friends when we were kids, but..." She moved closer, her face inches from his. Her breath didn't fog the mirror. No warmth, no life. "You forgot me." "I didn't mean... You promised you'd never go." Matthew tried to step back, but the room shifted again. The floor folded inward like paper. The air thickened. "You said you'd come back," she whispered. Then her face twisted, not in anger, but anguish. "You lied." Her fingers reached toward his chest and pressed through. Through the heart. Matthew couldn't scream. Her hand phased through his chest, not tearing, not piercing, but passing, like fog or dream. Cold flooded him, but not the kind that numbs. This chill burned, peeling back layers of memory he didn't know he'd buried. Suddenly, he was no longer in the room. He was sitting in the back seat of a car. Rain smeared across the windows in long streaks. The hum of tires on wet asphalt vibrated beneath him. Up front, a woman, his mother, arguing with someone on speakerphone. And beside him, Elin, younger, 8 years old, hugging her stuffed bear, eyes wide with worry. "You promised you'd tell me when we get there," she whispered. He turned to her, confused, heart racing. Then, brakes, screeching, a sharp cry, glass shattering, metal twisting into metal, and in the final second before everything turned black, his hand pulling away from hers, he woke with a gasp, still in the room, still in the house. Elin was gone, but the mirror had shattered. Dozens of sharp fragments littered the floor, reflecting not his face, but different versions of it. Older, younger, smiling, screaming, bleeding, each piece showing a Matthew that had made a different choice. In one shard, he never let go of her hand. In another, he died in the crash instead. He backed away. The walls of the room began to breathe, in and out, sighing like lungs that had waited too long to exhale. And from the closet, her voice again. "Now you remember. So stay." The door slammed shut. The games we played. When the lights came back, he was in a different room, a playroom. Toys littered the floor, blocks, puzzles, a small tricycle rusted at the wheel. Drawings lined the wall, done in crayon, childish depictions of a girl and a boy, always hand in hand. One of the pictures caught his eye. It showed the two of them standing in front of a house. This house. But behind them, drawn in thick black lines, stood something else. Tall, featureless, watching from a window. He picked up the crayon drawing and turned it over. A single word written on the back. Daddy. His stomach turned. His fingers clenched involuntarily. Voices whispered from the corners of the room. Not Elin this time. Deeper. Hungrier. Something was wrong in this house long before they ever arrived. He stepped back toward the wall, and the room rotated. Literally rotated. Like the entire structure twisted, folding in on itself, dragging him with it. He fell and landed in a different room altogether. This one had no furniture. Just a spiral staircase going down, seemingly endless, the kind of descent that looked like it led beneath the earth and beneath that. And on the first step, carved into the wood, she went this way.